first season was 2020.
We're going in 30. I'm cutting the mics in 10,
20,
5 to 6 seconds of fight song.
They also have excellent vegetarian options and a kid-friendly menu. Zapata Mexican Restaurant, where Valleydale meets Highway 31 in Pelham.
Basketball doesn't get much bigger than this one here in December. Number 1 in 7A, the Hoover Buccaneers, 3-time defending state champs, are in the house here at Pelham High School to take on the undefeated Pelham Panthers, unranked to start the season. That likely to change as this next poll comes out. Justin Foster, Caleb Turrentine here on 93.3 The River, streaming on YouTube as well as on NFHS Network. And Caleb, you talked about it in the pregame. This is the kind of thing you dream of as a Pelham Panther basketball fan. Big game here in the house. None bigger than the Hoover Buccaneers coming into your home gym and a chance to slay the giant for Coach D and company.
Yeah, there is not a bigger boys basketball program in the state right now. I mean, we can talk about their girls basketball program being the best in the state as well, but boys basketball is the theme of the night. So there's not a better visitor, a better challenge that you can get to come into your gym and set the stage, set a moment to say, hey, this is where we're at, this is where we want to go, but also, hey, we feel like we can win tonight, and that can set the stage. Obviously, we can talk about it not meaning anything for area. There's 2 more months of play before even playoffs begin. But this is a big one. This means a lot as opposed to it actually meaning something to the record. It clearly means something to the programs.
Well, I think heads have turned in 6A for what this Pelham team can do under Coach Greg Dickinson as they win at Mountain Brook last week, go on the road for a huge victory there. So people in 6A know this is a team to reckon with, but you knock off Hoover here tonight, and all of a sudden it's bigger than just 6A. You put yourself up as one of the best teams in the state, regardless of classification.
No, yeah, and I think that is something that that's why you put this on your schedule, so you can say this. It's not about just 6A. This is how you improve. And so I think that is why Coach Dickinson has this on the schedule. This is why he wants to be in a program that continues to schedule games like this. But you're right. 6A beating Mountain Brook was big, but you want to set yourself out a little bit more. Maybe not too much. I don't know. You know, if they hadn't beaten Mountain Brook, Hoover might not be expecting too much from them. Now you beat Mountain Brook. You give Hoover at least a challenge, you win tonight, suddenly you got the biggest target on your back in Class 6A, which is going to be welcomed. I'm not saying don't try to win the game, but it will come with challenges down the road either way.
I think this Panther team welcomes it. They tested themselves in the summer. A lot of confidence builders in those summer scrimmages, playing against really tough competition from out of state. And this is a team keyed by number 1. Deshaun Morissette has been absolutely electric for Coach Dickinson and his team. Big-time scorer, good passing the ball, playmaking. It starts with him, but it's all about balance. You got Andy Olds at the guard position. Grayson Childress, a breakout year as a senior. Trey Pittman, the sensational sophomore, has been a revelation. In Jaden Robinson, the big man, going to be a key here tonight against Jackson Sheffield, the Hoover big man who is headed up to Nashville, a Vanderbilt commit, and we are just about to get underway right there. Good look at Robinson and Sheffield listed at 240 pounds, and you see it right there as Hoover wins the tip. We are underway in what should be a great matchup here, and the Buccaneers start with the ball. Riley Kent with it. Joins Kane Burns, Michael Glass, the aforementioned Sheffield, a 3 off the mark, battle for the rebound. It's Sheffield coming down with it. He resets it for the Bucks. Messiah Millen, the 5th starter for the Bucks. A foul down low, or they'll say that one's out of bounds, and that will be a key tonight. And that is indeed a foul. It's going to be the first one against Jaden Robinson, and that's a big one. Only 37 seconds into quarter number 1.
Yeah, that's something that we talked about. He can't get into foul trouble, especially when they need someone to protect the rim right there.
Too easy off of the inbounds. Messiah Millen with an easy layup. Trey Pittman to bring it up for the Panthers.
That can't be the kind of game you want to start a little slow. That's the kind of play that you expect to happen maybe in the third quarter when you're sleeping. First possession of the game. Pelham's defense needs to lock up a little bit more.
Panthers working it around. Andy Olds with it. Attacks the hole to the rack, some contact. No foul. And Kane Burns comes down with a rebound. Bucks looking to push. Down low. Kick back out up top. Around the horn. Up top, three's good. And Riley Kent knocks it down. Quick 5-0 lead for the Bucks.
And this is something that you don't want to happen is have a team that has so much confidence that you feel like you're playing up. This is a big moment for Pelham. Any kind of lead for Hoover, you can't let it get away from you.
Some action down low, a foul called away from the ball. That's going to be the first called against the Hoover Bucks. Goes against Kane Burns, his first.
And something you might not see, you might see at the top of your screen there, something I noticed right away. This is one of those high school games with a shot clock tonight. Don't expect either of these two teams to have very long possessions, but it is at 35. That is allowed at the high school level if the two teams agree on it.
Ball turned over, errant pass from Grayson Childress. Three on the other end is money. Hoover off to a fast start. Messiah Millen, his 5th point, as a triple goes with his layup. And 6:02 to go in the opening quarter, 8-0 lead. Panthers want a 30-second timeout. What is Coach Dickinson saying there? A little animated here early, less than 2 minutes into this one, already down 8.
I think that the message is like, hey, you get it. This is a big moment. You might have come out a little sloppy or had a turnover and a missed shot, and really that's it. Hoover's just been making their shots. They're not going to shoot 100%. You have to live with that. It's an 8-point lead, but guess what? The beauty is that you still have 30 minutes of basketball left. So if you're going to go let Hoover go on a scoring stretch, let it happen now and then make up for it yourself. So don't let the moment be too big. Settle in, get back into the game, and just play your own game because you have enough time to do it.
Hoover with some pressure out of the timeout. I think the concern as a Panther fan is just the tentativeness you've seen the Panthers playing with here. They know this is a big game, and it's shown early as they turn it over off of the inbounds. Hoover with it again. Another three, chance for a double-digit lead. Off the mark, Morissette with a rebound. Looking to push into the half court. Pressure comes. And Panthers look to slow things down. Want to see him put one in the basket and get that offense rolling. To the basket, and that one is rejected. Hoover looking to run. Trap comes out. Childress forcing the turnover, and right back to Hoover as it's deflected into the hands of a Buccaneer. Some contact there as Hoover going to go to the line. It's Riley Kent drawing the foul. Grayson Childress with the personal. Not a ton of contact there, but whistle comes out. Childress picks up his first.
I think that play was just sloppy on both ends. Eventually it got so out of control it almost felt like a whistle was going to come with whoever got a shot up next. Morissette pulled down a big-time rebound, went the other way. I thought it was a good job to slow things down, didn't have numbers. But then he never gave the ball back up, tried to get into the lane and got blocked.
First free throw's good. Second one is string music. 10-0 Hoover. Panthers don't have a point and already find themselves down double digits. Pressure getting to them. Morissette breaks the press. The double team. Pittman finds Andy Olds. That one is money. Panthers on the board with the triple from Andy Olds. Hoover looking to push. Deflected out of bounds. Sheffield tried to get the alley-oop, and it's turned over. Pelham Panther basketball. And there's some pep in the step, and that is exactly what Pelham needs. Pittman with it into the half court. Finds Morissette. Under 5 minutes to go, first quarter. 10-3 the lead for the Hoover Bucks. Morissette finds Olds. Around to Pittman. Panthers showing some patience here. Up top, Jaden Robinson. Morissette left side. To the rack, spinning. A little out of control, and Did they call a foul? They called a foul to stay with the Panthers.
Yeah, I think a little fortunate there. One of those times, recognition to see that the shot clock was winding down and having to get to the basket. The spin was just in control just enough to get a blocking foul instead, and that's number 2 on Burns.
Morissette inbounds to Olds, up top Trey Pittman. Pittman going to work. Gives it to Morissette. Morissette looks, corner, to the rack, up, and that will be 2 free throws for Trey Pittman. Nice take to the hole.
That's 1 on Sheffield. That's something you want to do. That was a strong take. The way that he rose up, you know that Jackson Sheffield's on your back there. That you've got to get high up in the air. You got to get close to the rim to have a chance to score when he's inside the paint. Good drive, great job of drawing contact.
You see guys, the height of Jackson Sheffield, you do not see guys at the high school level with that kind of build. The strength, he's listed again at 240 and certainly looks the part there.
Yeah, you can see J-Rob standing right next to him there thinking he's got the length. He might have more length than Sheffield because the way his wingspan just is massive. Hope that can give Sheffield some problems on the other end.
First free throw no good, but Pittman knocks down the second, 1 for 2. The lead now 6 for Hoover. 4:10 to go opening quarter, 10-4 Hoover. Panthers with some pressure. Full court for Morissette. That one off of the Hoover foot, and it'll go back to the Panthers. Michael Glass could not control it. Great job from Grayson Childress to force the turnover as some substitutions. Jacob Gibbs into the game for the Panthers as Andy Olds heads to the bench.
Yeah, I don't even think that is a play that is called trap or anything. That was just instinct shown by Childress. He knew that spin move was coming, and he was there being able to knock the ball loose.
Childress has been such a big part of this team as another whistle and another foul against the Hoover Bucks.
Yeah, good head fake, got the defender in the air. Boulware was first man off the bench for Hoover. He came in for Burns, who was already in foul trouble, and Boulware now already has his first foul.
So Pittman back to the line. Only a sophomore, and first free throw is good. Pittman, another big part of the fast start.
Pittman averaging 15.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 3.5 steals. 82% shooter from the line before this game started. 3 for 4 tonight already.
Six to 10. And a foul on the other end.
Yeah, that's 2 on Childress now.
Second for Grayson Childress.
And I understand the frustration from the Pelham bench there, as it didn't look like the foul was up top. I thought he might get called for a blocking foul before the shot even went up. Once you let him play that physical, you think you're going to be allowed to play physical on the shot attempt as well.
Childress to the bench. (11 to 6) now Hoover leads. Off the mark, Hoover with it. Jackson Sheffield. Sheffield off the mark. Offensive rebound, foul down low.
Yeah, it's good contest. Robinson was able to body him up before the shot. Certainly impacted that hook shot from Sheffield. But because he was contesting the shot, he wasn't there for the rebound. Just bounced right back to Sheffield's hands. The foul went on Pittman, actually, as he reached in before the shot.
11-6 inbound to Sheffield. Sheffield short arms a layup. Wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Gibbs up ahead looking to run. And that ball out of bounds. 3:02, quarter number one, 11-6 Hoover on top.
I'm impressed so far by Jane Robinson's ability to defend down low. Obviously, Sheffield's getting shots off, and he's getting rebounds. He's already have 2 offensive rebounds. But Robinson's length is clearly affecting him. He's not going to go up against many players that can match his own physicality.
Pressure on Jacob Gibbs, and he turns it over. Hoover gets the ball back. Inbound, and Hoover turns it over themselves, other end. And Marcus Arnold puts it in. Back to 3. 11-8, Hoover on top.
Really nice to
Bucks
see
with it.
those football guys in the backcourt working together. You saw the ball hawk ability from all of them, even as offensive players.
3 off the mark, battle for the rebound, that deflected. And they're saying it's off Jackson Sheffield. It'll go to the Panthers, 2:31 to go in the quarter. A 10-0 Hoover lead, now a 3-point deficit for the Panthers, 11-8. And with it, Hoover wants a timeout. We'll take it with them. Panthers have fought back to cut it to 3. We'll be right back from Pelham High School right after this.
Welcome to Taco Mac Pelham, where flavor starts with fresh, never frozen wings. All with your favorite sports playing on every screen. Surrounded by Pelham's biggest fans, with over 30 beers on tap and good vibes on every table. Come hungry, come ready. This is flavor worth cheering for. This is Taco Mac Pelham, where Pelham comes to watch, eat, and win.
As they had a 10-0 lead, it's now only 3. Panthers fight back after the slow start.
Yeah, since that first timeout, when it was called 8-0, what was that, less than 2 minutes into the game, Hoover actually has not made a field goal since then. Their 3 points have come from the free throw line. So Pelham's defense has certainly locked in since that early timeout.
A whistle comes out. Looks to be a foul against Hoover.
Should be 2 shots as well.
And indeed, that is against Messiah Millen. And Morissette will head to the line for a couple.
Double checking the foul count here at the scorer's table.
.226 to go first quarter, 11-8. Hoover on top, but Panthers chipping away. Morissette, first of 2. It's good.
It's his first point of the night. Morissette averages 19.8 through 8 games this season.
Second is up and good. 1 point game. 11-10, Hoover on top. And another whistle. And that's a technical foul. It's going to go against the Bucks. And Messiah Millen called for the tee.
I don't think Coach Ware is liking the explanation right now. He is getting in the official's face. I think Millen was suggesting that he was being held, and when he turned around, he thought he was going to get a foul call, and instead he got teed up.
Morissette, a little short, but bounces in, and the Panthers have their first lead of the night, 12-11.
If you're Pelham, you certainly would have taken this 5 minutes ago. Even if it has been in a little bit of ugly fashion, a lot of free throws, a lot of physical play. But that early 10-0 deficit's already gone.
Panthers with the ball and the lead. 3 comes out, off the mark. Second chance, no good. Battle for the ball down low. That one out of bounds. We'll see. And it's going to stay with the Panthers. Nick Vinson into the game for the Panthers. Nice offensive rebound there.
Pelham already running 9 deep in the opening quarter.
And another whistle.
Just a pass that I think Gibbs thought someone else was going to be there in that corner. A little bit of miscommunication on the inbounds.
2 minutes, first quarter, 12-11. Panthers on top. Great pressure on the ball. Hoover trying to go down low. They settle for mid-range jumper off the mark. Pittman looking to run. Little Euro, puts it up and in. Panthers extend the lead, a 14-1 run in this opening quarter.
Boy, I did not think he was going to be able to get a shot off there, being able to go underneath the arm of a couple of shot blockers.
And a foul on the other end.
Looks like both coaches, both benches are getting warnings here to get off of the sideline and off the court, which this is a high school gym. I think refs need to understand there's only so much space you can push them back.
(14-11). Panthers on top. They trail 10-0. And Scott Ware, a lot of conversation with the officials.
And listen, I can understand it. This is a high-stress game. I understand that. 2 good teams. It's been very physical first quarter. But we also have still a minute and a half left of this first quarter. Both teams in the bonus. We've seen a lot of free throws, a lot of whistles already. At a certain point, I know you have to get the game under control, but you also want to let them play basketball.
First quarter. And both teams in the bonus. First free throw is good. Second upcoming for Riley Kent. Senior knocks them both down. 14-13, Jacob Gibbs with it, pressure from the Bucks. And that is going to be a foul going against Riley Kent. And been a lot of calls, but that one, no doubt about it, it's going to get you a whistle every time.
I think it's just a style of play right now. Hoover wants to press. And he didn't even need to reach. I think he had positioning. He had Jacob Gibbs kind of struggling in the backcourt a little. Keep sliding your feet, don't reach, and you're not going to get called for that foul.
Gibbs to the line. First one is off the mark, short. 1 point lead for the Panthers. 1:19 to go first quarter. 14-13.
Pelham now 7 for 9 from the stripe in this opening quarter. If that keeps up every quarter, we might be here until 11 o'clock.
Second one off the mark. Bucks looking to push ahead. Gibbs, good job to get back. Let's feed it to Sheffield, high post. Sheffield. Pass to Glass off the mark, but offensive rebound, and Jaden Robinson with the rejection. Up ahead, Morissette to the rack, up and in, 16-13, under a minute to go first quarter. Steal and another basket. Jordan Winston. The lead is now 5, and the Panthers, once trailing by 10 in this opening quarter, with a 15-point swing.
I think down here you can almost see it. in Riley Kent's eyes after he got that offensive rebound. He came in and he left his feet before realizing that Jaden Robinson was in front of him, and he just kind of put it up for that with his left hand, and it got swatted straight back into the ground. Great job of being able to get the rebound and push it ahead as well to keep that momentum going. And then a great steal by Nick Vincent on the other end to add 2 more points to it.
(18-13) first free throw off the mark. Second is up and in. 18-14, 39 seconds. And that one thrown out of bounds by Jordan Winston. Looking for Andy Olds and miscommunication on the cut. And ball goes back to Hoover.
Yeah, even with Pelham in the lead right now, I think you can tell Hoover's press is certainly giving them some trouble. They seem rushed in the backcourt when they don't need to be.
And stolen right back. Jordan Winston comes up with it. Andy Olds looking to push. Three-pointer is way off the mark. And that one goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Hoover. 31 seconds to go. 18-14. Panthers on top.
Yeah, I don't mind a pull-up three in transition. I just think he didn't realize that there were 2 defenders that were about to pressure a shot when he pulled up. Now the shot clock will be off for Hoover. We'll see if they want to hold for last shot. Not many 30-second possessions so far tonight, though.
Clock under 30 seconds, first quarter. Into the half court, to the rack. And it's another rejection. Jaden Robinson. Second of this first quarter.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a stare down there, too. I think the ref saw it and said, you know what, this is one that we let go. Don't say anything. Don't make physical contact. Stare after that block. What a block.
I have to say, you got to be careful there. A little chirping after. Refs letting them play there. Inbound goes to Michael Glass. Glass over to Boulware. Into the corner, and Riley Kent. Hoover swinging it around. Scoop is going to be an offensive foul. And the Panthers into it now. They trailed 10-0 in this ball game. With 8 seconds to go in the first quarter, they now lead by 4.
And again, a reminder, since that first timeout, 2 minutes in, Hoover has not had a field goal.
Up ahead, looking for Trey Pittman. It's turned over 4-3, and a chance. Corner three is off the mark. It's an air ball. Michael Glass finding none of that or any rim to end the first quarter. 18-14 your score. Very entertaining first frame between your Pelham Panthers and the Hoover Buccaneers. Will step aside. Second quarter action coming up on the other side on 93.3 The River and NFHS. Right back.
I'm Joseph Chambers, your local State Farm agent here in Pelham since 2017. We're proud to be supporters of Pelham High Athletics. When I was younger, I loved playing youth sports and being a part of my high school team, and I wanted to give back to this year's team and support any way I could. Me and my team want to help you and your family, regardless of where you may be in life. We can help you with auto, home, life, retirement planning, and so much more. Stop by our office to see what we can do for you. Let's go Panthers. Go get them.
Built a reputation on honesty, accountability, and dependability. Technique Automotive can take care of anything your car needs. Technique Automotive, 3069 Lee Street in Pelham.
Entertaining first quarter here at Pelham High School, 18-14. Pelham Panthers leading the #1 team in 7A, the Hoover Bucks. Justin Foster, Caleb Turrentine with you here. And it started out slow for the Panthers, kind of seemed like the moment, I won't say the moment was too big, but bright lights and found themselves down 10-0, but what a swing there to lead by 4.
And it was clearly a team that is used to the bright lights and the big stage. When Hoover came out, made their three of their first 4 shots, including a couple of threes. That's what allowed that 8-0 lead to happen, but Pelham's defense has stepped up in a big way. More than 6 minutes now without a bucket for Hoover.
Grayson Childress with the ball, looking to feed down low. Finds Morissette, fade away, rolls off. Hoover with the rebound. Sheffield comes down with it. Up ahead, looking to push. A little too much movement there with the feet. Travel called, and the Panthers get the ball back. So the strong defense continues. Scoring drought for Hoover continues into the second quarter. Inbound to Morissette. Morissette up ahead into the half court. To the rack, step back, and say he pushed off.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of times he's gotten away with it. I think that time is almost just testing your limits. See how much of a push-off you can get away with. It's not the end of the world to get called for an offensive foul. Now you kind of know. Now you kind of set the standard of what they'll call. A little bit too much extension on that one. Certainly obvious from our angle as well.
7-17, second quarter, 18-14. Panthers on top of the Hoover Bucks. Bucks with it. Pressure comes from the Panthers. Half court. They've got numbers up ahead. Sheffield. Good job by Robinson. And he traveled. Panthers force another turnover, and obvious frustration on the face of senior Jackson Sheffield. He's headed to Vanderbilt, but some SEC type of pressure here at Pelham High School thus far. 3 is up off the mark for Morissette. He has been quiet here in the early going, but a steal going the other way. Nice spin move up, and Sheffield with a nice block of his own. Hoover with it going the other way. Into the half court, Michael Glass sets his offense over to Messiah Millen.
I think Sheffield is going to, he knows he wants to make a mark on this game, and if it can't happen on the offensive end, you're going to see him be even more active on defense. That was a big block.
Missed layup. Hoover with the offensive rebound, aided by a deflection from Sheffield. Back up top, Riley Kent. Corner, they're looking to get it down to Sheffield, but it's stolen away by Andy Olds. Up ahead, Trey Pittman draws the foul. He'll shoot 2 more. And the sophomore getting it done, drawing fouls and getting opportunities at the foul line.
Boy, Jane Robinson is exhausted down on this end of the floor. He deserves a little bit of an applause. Of course, Coach Ware right now is all the way onto the court, I think asking for a technical, trying to get something to happen. Talk about pushing your limit. He's going to do it right now.
And there it is. There it is. Free throw.
Free throw will not count.
Free throw won't count, but you'll get a couple extra ones. And I think Coach Ware just trying to do something to energize his team here. As you said, he's asking for that one.
He was. I mean, he was out there on the court while a free throw was trying to be shot. And if anything else, like, yes, you're probably getting that call in a lot of games. You're not going to get them in all the games. It's also for the sense that Jackson Sheffield's going to be used to getting that call. He wants to let his team know that he's got their back, and whether they're getting calls or not, to keep going at it. And that's what Hoover's going to do. But, boy, now you have an opportunity for 4 free points right here.
Got to make them count. First one up and in for Trey Pittman.
Big chance to extend the lead.
Ware still giving an earful to the officials. Second free throw good for Pittman.
And I don't even think the argument has been, all right, this is going to be 2 free throws that he had anyway. 2 free throws for the technical, and Pelham will get the ball back.
Third one just a little short.
Ware wanted to make sure to get his money's worth before having to take a seat.
Fourth one up and in. 21-14.
Already 10 free throws made for Pelham tonight.
Panthers with the ball. Morissette into the half court, gives it to Pittman. Pittman to Morissette. Down low, Childress puts it in. And the Panthers extend the lead. Looking for a travel the other way. It's a steal. Morissette coast to coast and puts it in. Panthers with a 9-point lead.
And they have Hoover looking all out of sorts right now. Going to have a full timeout coming here from Coach Ware. Much needed. What a turnaround for Pelham.
Panthers have been on fire after finding themselves down 10-0. They lead by 9, 23-14. Timeout on the floor will take it with them. 5:32 to go, second quarter. Panthers up 9 over number 1 in 7A.
At Evolve IT, we're not just an IT provider. We're your business's passionate, resolute, expert technology partner. We're redefining IT, increasing your business's productivity, profitability, security, scalability, and continuity. We commit to excellence, providing game-changing, reliable, and innovative solutions as we roll up our sleeves and dive into your IT infrastructure. Take ownership of your challenges and map out solutions alongside you to fulfill your business goals and needs. Evolve IT, redefining IT, empowering growth.
23-14, Pelham Panthers on top of the Hoover Bucks, and Coach D's team early on seemed a bit tentative, kind of like, hey, they bought into the hype of Hoover. As soon as those baskets started falling, though, they got back into what has had them so much success early in this season. 9-point lead now.
And it's offense has led to defense. It's been the name of the game for Pelham. Get your defense set, whether it's in a full court press or a half court press. You can see Jane Robinson, just the presence down there, not just guarding Sheffield, but anyone else who comes into the lane is a little timid.
Great defensive strategy. 2 guys flanking Sheffield at all times, and they turn it over trying to get it into Sheffield. Robinson has been sensational in this first half.
And that's the kind of defense that you can play, and when you're getting away with whether what's foul, physical contact, being allowed to play physical, it gets in the head.
Panthers want a timeout, nowhere to go for Andy Olds, and you've seen a second body around Jackson Sheffield, and you're kind of gambling on the guards of Hoover not being able to make you pay, and so far they've not.
Well, since those first few possessions, it hasn't just been focusing on the paint. You're only sending 2 guys to focus on the paint, and you're staying on shooters, and that's what you have to do to be able to collapse and double on a big without giving those wide open shots that they got in the first 3 possessions that they made. Now Hoover hasn't made a three-pointer, or a basket still, I can keep saying that, and now 9 minutes of gameplay. So it's been an impressive change, and I don't know if they even changed anything. I think that early timeout was just probably reiterating what they already had in their game plan and say, hey, once we get buckets, we're going to be able to get back. We're going to be able to play defense the way we want to play, and it's working exactly how I'm sure the coaching staff wanted it to coming into the night.
Coach Ware still heated on the Hoover sideline and trying to get his team going. It is 25-14, Panthers on top. Looking to add to it here, looking for a long 3. Pittman, why not? Knocks it down, and the sophomore off to a big start.
There was a whistle as well underneath.
Panthers have doubled up the Bucks. And this one.
Looks like they did get a foul on Robinson after the ball was in the air, though.
And Robinson will take a seat.
You have a 14-point lead. You feel like you can get away with it a little bit after a second foul on Robinson.
Nick Benson into the game.
These are certainly big minutes with Sheffield in and Robinson out. They got 3 bodies on him in the paint.
Bucks looking to find something. They want to go to Sheffield. Instead, a off-balance fadeaway is going to draw a foul for Messiah Millen. It goes against Jacob Gibbs, and it's a little too much there. That's a tough shot for Millen.
It's a foul that you look back on and say, why was I contesting the way I was? I mean, probably surprised him to even pull up for a shot there. You're trying to chase him towards the basket, and instead he pulls up and you run underneath him. Made it an easy call for the official.
Little short, but bounces in for Millen. Hoover down 13 points.
And a good reminder, in their first loss this season, which snapped their 47-game winning streak, an insane thing to say. They lost to a team out of Mississippi, out of Starkville, Mississippi. They were down 19-2 in that game. Ended up getting it down to 6, so they know how to play from behind. Not a team you can let go on a run either.
Pittman with it over to Morissette. Works it around. Up top, Jacob Gibbs. Gibbs to the rack. Kicks it out. Triple is up. Off the mark. Rebound for the Bucks. And Kane Burns up ahead. It's Millen. Nice move. Finds Sheffield, and good job there from Grayson Childress. He thought about, trying to block that. Would have been a foul. That's an easy 2, and Sheffield puts it in.
It's hard to watch somebody dunk the ball at any times, especially at the high school level. You feel it can take so much momentum away.
Childress over to Morissette, long 3. Cash puts it in. 13-point lead, and Morissette knocks it down, and they are going to call the T on him. Just a little too much chirping.
You could see that Coach Dickinson there on the sideline. He wanted to give him a high five and yell at him all at the same time there for that. You have all the momentum in the world. You just made the three-pointer. Let the shot speak for itself. It's a 27-footer.
He's still talking. And I'm very split on it. You got to let guys. It's basketball. You let guys talk. You let them. You don't know what was said.
Because that's not going to get out of hand if they're just playing in a gym. These guys without officials, no one's going to get offended by it.
People talk. Did it cross the line? We don't know.
Right.
Second free throw is good, so you get back 2 of the 3, and that's a lesson for Morissette. Beautiful 3. It's an 11-point lead for the Panthers. 3:21 to go before the half.
And that was a big response. Sheffield's dunk was Hoover's first made field goal, I believe, in over 9.5 minutes. Morissette was able to respond with a three-pointer.
They go down low to Sheffield, easy 2. And with Robinson on the bench, Hoover trying to get that ball to their big. Back to a 9-point game, and a foul comes out. That one almost turned over by Jacob Gibbs, but it will stay with the Panthers.
I think they're just going to call it out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
That one, on the other hand.
That will be a foul. This one, little chippiness.
I think Coach Ware is pointing out the guy, pointing to Gibbs and saying he's smiling after getting that call. He told the ref that too. I think Gibbs might have gotten away with one out of the football book, right? You pull on the defender's jersey, make it look like defensive pass interference. Heady play.
Kane Burns picks up his 3rd here in the second quarter. 3 minutes to go. Panthers by 9. Gibbs with it into the half court. Over to Morissette. Looking for Childress. Gets it to him. Childress to the rack. Off the mark, and that one just a little out of sync from the start. Childress called for the foul. It's his 3rd, and that is significant.
That's a tough one to take your 3rd on, too. It was a good drive, and I'm not sure the Hoover defender was set yet, but he was out of control a little too much. And then when you throw the ball at the rim, it doesn't look like a shot. It's going to make him look even more like a charge to the officials. Tough way to get your 3rd foul.
31-22 Panthers lead. Hoover looking to go to work, but Jaden Robinson picks up his 3rd block of this first half.
I think they have to find a way to use Sheffield away from the basket. If they're trying to drive other players into the middle, I don't know if they think they're going to get Robinson to come off Sheffield and have dump-off passes. It's not working so far. Robinson's been able to guard both the ball handler and the man behind him, doing a great job so far.
Inbound, Sheffield has it. Hoover working it around, trying to get it down to Sheffield, and here comes a foul against Robinson. And that will be his third.
I think you just saw the jersey extend a little too much. Once you get a handful of that, they've been letting them fight for position down there, but you got to be able to fight without grabbing. Use your arms, use your elbows, don't grab. I will understand the frustration, though, because Robinson's probably thinking, what did I do differently than what I've been doing that hasn't been called? And now suddenly you are going to call it, and that can be tough in high school ball, trying to get consistency. Big 3 fouls, though.
Nick Vinson into the game to spell Jaden Robinson. You like to get 2.5 minutes of solid play from him and let Robinson get to the third quarter with that third personal, second free throw good for Jackson Sheffield. 8-point lead for the Panthers, 31-23, 2:20 on the clock here in quarter number 2. Deshaun Morissette with it, takes the double team, splits it, kick to Trey Pittman, corner 3 is off the mark. Battle for the rebound, Bucks come down with it. Bucks looking to push. Up ahead, it is Messiah Millen to the rack. Throws one up off the mark, and that one is going to cause a little bit of frustration from the Panther fans. Out of control, and the foul comes out. And that one's a bit questionable.
They're getting to the point where you have 3 of your starters with 3 fouls now. You can play physical all you want when it helps. You got to also understand this is a 4-quarter ball game. You got to make sure your guys are there at the end.
First free throw, no good.
Looks like he's letting Morissette.
And that is the third personal.
Close out the first half. I'm surprised by that move.
Second one off the mark, no good. Battle for the rebound. Panthers come up with it. Pittman with the ball. Pittman going to work to the rack. Has it stripped. And Morissette knows I cannot foul here. Good job, Andy Olds, to get back. And that's another foul down low. And Jordan Winston called for that one. And your guys off the bench, that's some free fouls there. So Nick Vinson, Jordan Winston, first on Winston, use those 10 fouls.
Yeah, you'd like to get back sooner so you have positioning, especially when you don't have the size advantage.
Sheffield, first one off the mark.
There are worse ways to guard him. All right, there are. But you have to eventually understand foul trouble, because if you have this many guys in foul trouble, this can't be how you guard him come the fourth quarter if it's a close game.
Sheffield struggling from the line so far. Second one up, off the mark. Trey Pittman with a rebound, has it stripped away. Hoover right back with a 2-pointer from Kobe Boulware.
Boy, I think Boulware got away with something there. Not only a little bit of talking there after the basket, there was physical contact. Maybe at least a delay of game even when he ran into the inbounder.
1:30 to go, 31-25, Panthers on top. Morissette looks for the screen, takes a second one from Jordan Winston to the rack. Slows down, and a floater extends it to 8 with 1:05 seconds, 33-25. Other way, Sheffield with a big-time alley-oop. A fast pace here in the final minute. Andy Olds takes it the other way. Panthers by 6. Olds to the rack, rejected by Sheffield. Bucks looking to push. Up ahead, the foul comes out as Jordan Winston called for one, a hard foul on Messiah Millen. All ball there, but big-time contact there from Winston.
Yeah, a little bit of a hip check there. Millen looking like he's trying to take this game over a little bit, at least for Hoover on the offensive side. He wants to have the ball in his hands, being able to dictate what happens on this end of the court. Of course, the big dunk and big block by Sheffield helps you do that.
6-point lead for the Panthers, 33-27. First free throw is good.
And seen some chirping from Pelham students down here. I think we got a mix of Pelham and Hoover students around the top here. Trying to figure out who's chirping at who is taking me a second. But the atmosphere that you expected, I think we're getting, especially the more this game goes along.
Second of 2 for Messiah Millen. Second one is good. Senior cuts it to 4, 33-29. Deshaun Morissette into the half court. Panthers not in a hurry. Morissette looks over to Coach D. Shot clock to 18. Morissette, little back and forth and puts it in. Half court brilliance from the senior. A whistle goes against Andy Olds, another foul, and just making it easy for Messiah Millen. He'll head to the line.
Morissette up to 15 points already here in the first half. Last few possessions have been all about him.
Quiet 15.
He's going on that right side. Past few possessions, very strong. Picks out a defender, kind of lulls him to sleep a little bit, and attacks, I think, more quickly than the Hoover defense realizes.
First free throw is good.
Millen has made his last 3 free throws after missing 3 in a row. They're making him earn it from the line.
18 seconds in this first half. Second one is up and good. 4 points.
He's the first Hoover player in double figures.
35-31. Pressure comes on Morissette. Over to Pittman. Final 10 seconds here. Pittman to the rack. Floater is good. Clock continues to run. Hoover throws up a prayer, and it's off the mark. So the Panthers close it out with a basket from Trey Pittman to take a 6-point lead against the Hoover Bucks. It's 37-31. Entertaining first half here from Pelham High School. We'll take a break and recap that first half when we come back. Look ahead to the second. It's the Pelham Panthers 37, Hoover Bucks 31 at intermission here from Pelham High School. Right back after this.
Full Moon Barbecue has been named one of the top 10 barbecue restaurants in America. So enjoy the best when cheering on the Panthers. For your next outing, complete your tailgate with barbecue pork sliders, smoked wings, mac and cheese, and of course their very famous Half Moon cookies. Call ahead or drop by the Pelham location, minutes from Ned Bearden Stadium. Full Moon is a proud sponsor of the Pelham Panthers. Full Moon Barbecue and Pelham High School, a winning combination.
At Dunn's HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, we know how hard it is to find a dependable company you can trust. The time-consuming effort can be frustrating and overwhelming. We believe what matters is getting back to what's important to you. Dunn's HVAC Plumbing and Electrical is built upon honesty, integrity, and also trust. We are your local choice for all your HVAC plumbing and electrical needs, serving Calhoun, Jefferson, Shelby, and surrounding areas. Visit our website at callduns.com to schedule your appointment for dependable service done right.
You can beat your toughest opponent. You can beat your best time in the mile. You can beat that old largemouth bass. But one thing you should never try and beat is a train. If a train is approaching, don't risk your life trying to beat it, because beating the train is a deadly game. Drive safe, Alabama. Sponsored by ALDOT, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, in this state.
Taco Mac Pelham, where flavor starts with fresh, never frozen wings. All with your favorite sports playing on every screen. Surrounded by Pelham's biggest fans, with over 30 beers on tap and good vibes on every table. Come hungry, come ready. This is flavor worth cheering for. This is Taco Mac Pelham, where Pelham comes to watch, eat, and win.
I'm Joseph Chambers, your local State Farm agent here in Pelham since 2017. We're proud to be supporters of Pelham High Athletics. When I was younger, I loved playing youth sports and being a part of my high school team, and I wanted to give back to this year's team and support any way I could. Me and my team want to help you and your family, regardless of where you may be in life. We can help you with auto, home, life, retirement planning, and so much more. Stop by our office to see what we can do for you. Let's go Panthers. Go get them.
At Evolve IT, we're not just an IT provider. We're your business's passionate, resolute, expert technology partner. We're redefining IT, increasing your business's productivity, profitability, security, scalability, and continuity. We commit to excellence, providing game-changing, reliable, and innovative solutions as we roll up our sleeves and dive into your IT infrastructure. Take ownership of your challenges and map out solutions alongside you to fulfill your business goals and needs. Evolve IT, redefining IT, empowering growth.
Business. Proud to have been a part of the Pelham area for more than 20 years. They have more than 100 authentic and delicious Mexican dishes to choose from. There's something for everyone, from salads to steak fajitas to chicken fingers. They also have excellent vegetarian options and a kid-friendly menu. Zapata Mexican Restaurant, where Valleydale meets Highway 31 in Pelham.
Back here at Pelham High School, the undefeated Pelham Panthers giving the Hoover Bucks all they can handle. They lead by 6 at halftime over the preseason #1 in 7A and 3-time defending state champion, the Hoover Buccaneers. And Justin Foster, Caleb Turntine here. And Caleb, first half, Panthers slow start, trailing by 10 early. They turn things around, and late second quarter, we kind of get the game that everybody anticipated. Nice back and forth. Panthers able to close things out to keep it at 6. But overall impressions of first half of play.
Yeah, I think Hoover coming out the way they did didn't necessarily surprise me. They looked like a team that belonged, right? And Pelham, big stage. You don't want to make the game too big, but you did want to talk about how big of a game this is. We talked about it. I'm sure they did too. So I think you could kind of see that a little bit with the struggles. It was just 3 or 4 possessions. The game wasn't out of hand. You didn't do anything terrible, but that's why Coach Dickinson took that early timeout to be like, hey, they're up 8-0. It happens. We're not even 2 minutes into this game. Let's settle down, and they did. And in reality, Pelham played a much better half than Hoover did overall. Hoover is probably looking at, hey, we're only down 6 because Pelham led by as many as 11 in that first half. And so I think you're right, though. I think both teams kind of settled in late in the second quarter. We started seeing good basketball from both teams. So hopefully that's what we see continuing into the third and fourth quarter. The foul trouble, the free throws, I understand. You got to call what is and what isn't a foul. Man, I just hope we see a little bit more basketball in the second half.
You talked about wanting Pelham basketball to be good in your time as a student here and just looking at it. And, Panthers off to a great start, 8-0. Really eyebrows raised by a lot of people to win at Mountain Brook. Your impressions of this Panther team in that first half?
Yeah, I think the depth is what I think stood out the most, because not just the amount of players that can score, the amount of players that can impact the game in different ways. It's how much the coaching staff also trusts them. Like I said, they went 9 deep in the first quarter alone. I can look back on my days that when I was at Pelham or years that I covered Pelham, and you can definitely spot there has been talent, there has been good players, there's even been good teams, but the ability that they have to put any 5 out there, even when it was Jackson Sheffield, not even throwing out a big out there, and they are still trying to hang. They push the pace a little bit more. the ability to play to your strengths in the lineup that you have with multiple lineups, that's what makes a high school basketball team very, very good, especially at the elite levels. That's what you see when you get to the Final 48. That's what you see when you get to those regional finals. It's teams that can lose a player to injury, lose a player to foul trouble, be missing shots, be, not making your free throws, but they win in different ways with different players, and that's what I see from this Pelham team.
37-31, Panthers on top, led by their two biggest stars, arguably, Deshaun Morissette and Trey Pittman with big first half. We'll take a break here from Pelham High School. Second half underway when we come back. 37-31, Panthers on top of the Bucks here on 93.3 The River and NFHS. Right back after this.
If neck, back, or shoulder pain leave you feeling less than 100%, Roderick White Chiropractic in Pelham wants to help you get back to full strength. General aches and pains, or a sports injury, Roderick White Chiropractic in Pelham, 205-664-8881, or online at youcouldfeelbetter.com.
Joseph Chambers State Farm is a big supporter of Pelham Athletics. Their mission is to serve their customers' needs through their knowledge of insurance and excellent customer service. Joseph Chambers State Farm takes pride in what they do. Located on Canyon Park Drive in Pelham. Joseph Chambers State Farm, 205-663-3276.
Zapata Mexican Restaurant is ready to feed hungry Pelham Panther fans. Zapata is family-owned and operated and a proud part of the Pelham area for more than 20 years. They have more than 100 authentic and delicious Mexican dishes to choose from. Zapata Mexican Restaurant, where Valleydale meets Highway 31 in Pelham.
3M Carts and Mowers. They have the latest in lawnmowers from Exmark, Steel outdoor power equipment like edgers, blowers, and hedge trimmers. And if your mower isn't running in top shape, 3M Carts and Mowers Service Department can get it back on the job in no time. 3M Carts and Mowers, 734 Industrial Park Drive in Pelham.
It takes proper technique to excel on the football field. There's also a proper technique when it comes to the auto repair business. At Technique Automotive, they've built a reputation on honesty, accountability, and dependability. Technique Automotive can take care of anything your car needs. Technique Automotive, 3069 Lee Street in Pelham.
Halftime in the books, just about to get underway here from Pelham High School. Justin Foster, Caleb Turrentine with you. 37-31 Pelham Panthers on top of number 1 in 7A, the Hoover Buccaneers. And a lot of credit goes out to Jaden Robinson in that first half. Great on Jackson Sheffield. He's got 3 fouls. What are the keys to defending Sheffield the way they did in the first half in this second half?
I think you defended them well, but you have to find a different way to defend them. I mean, because you can't sit there with 4 or 5 guys with 6, 7 fouls. So you have to mix it up. I think they did a good job of that later in that first half. I think you're going to see that happening. You want to have Jane Robinson on him at the end of the game. In the third quarter, I expect to see other players flying at him, getting to Jackson Sheffield and forcing the issue that way. Let Jane Robinson stay in the game as long as possible.
Got to expect Hoover to attack him with those 3 personal. Same with Deshaun Morissette. Second half, a good start for the Hoover Bucks as a quick basket, almost a steal. 37-33. Panthers on top.
Millen up to 12 points now. He was the only Hoover player to reach double figures in that first half.
Childress to the rack, puts it in. Quiet first half for Grayson Childress. He has been a do-everything forward here for this team, and a good start for number 5 to start this second half.
I'm a little surprised Sheffield didn't try to contest that shot a little more. He kind of backed off. I wonder if that's a little bit of a message.
Sheffield hard to the rack. Little reverse hook puts it in.
Probably the best offensive move we've seen from him in this game. Not just trying to be pure power, showing a little bit of finesse to his game.
Childress over to Morissette, back to Childress. He'll pop a 3. Too strong, almost rolls in, but Hoover's got a rebound, looking to push. Up ahead, they will reset into the half court. Millen with it. Takes the screen, gives it off to Kane Burns, who goes down low. And some contact, no foul, but the basket is good, and Michael Glass banks it off his namesake and puts it in for 2. 39-37. Lead down to just 2 for the Panthers. Trey Pittman. Nice little fadeaway, no good. Hoover with it, looking to tie or take the lead.
I think you live with that shot, though. Sometimes a little bit of an ISO can be a good thing.
Floater off the mark, well contested by the Panthers.
I think the shot clock reset, I'm not sure it should have. Of course, high school shot clock rules might be different. Something to look into.
Going to Sheffield down low, and some contact there, and that might just be Jaden Robinson's 4th personal. And with Jordan Winston checking in, it looks to be the case.
Yeah, I think that's just a case of you got to know when you're beat. Sheffield had positioning, and once he turned, keep your hands up, but he kept sputtering around him, trying to turn and push towards him. An easy foul call. Didn't let it get a shot up, I guess, if you want to see a silver lining to that foul happening.
5:38 to go third quarter. 39-37, Panthers on top. Sheffield to inbounds, gets it inbounds, going around the horn. 3 is up, it's off the mark, short. Sheffield had it, but batted away. Panthers have it. Easy outlet, Olds up and puts it in. Good contest from Riley Kent, but Andy Olds, the scoop and score. Going down low, Sheffield with it. Batted away, and that one's going to stay on the floor, but it's another foul. I think you got to go to your depth here. They've already put Jordan Winston in, but the tentativeness of the guys in foul trouble just going to be a detriment to the Panthers.
Yeah, I think they might have been fortunate there. That might have been what the ref was double checking for. It was not actually on, ended up being on Olds, so.
Not going to be Childress's 4th. They get the 3 off the inbounds play. It's short, but rebounded by Sheffield, who turns it over. Olds with the outlet pass. Coast to coast and puts it in. Another transition bucket for the senior Andy Olds. The lead back to 6 for the Panthers. Under 5 minutes in the third, Hoover with it. Down low, puts it up, and that is
jump ball.
A jump ball.
Yeah, it's great defense there from Grayson Childress. You better be sure of it if you're going for it. And I think he was. Good defense. Might have been over the top of the player a little bit, but Hoover wasn't in full control there. Looked like the right call from our angle.
Morissette with it, and that's going to be a foul. And they're going to give this ball to Hoover. I'm not sure of the reasoning there. If they just say Morissette was out of bounds.
I think that's something they weren't calling, or they were calling in the first half, and I said eventually they're going to start letting him play. I think it did look worse because I think he stepped out and the contact continued out of bounds. But I do think the call was that he stepped out before any foul would have been called.
Bucks with it. Some contact down low, and they're going to call that one against Jordan Winston. You talked about the foul situation, how this thing would even out, and now we're certainly see it swing the way of the Buccaneers. Panthers got to weather this storm. Sheffield is a low down there on the block, and Winston picks up another one, his 3rd.
And we saw how Pelham can still stay in the lead and win this game. Sheffield's going to get rebounds. He's going to get his points even. You're going to foul. Oh, good hands. But stay active when that ball is in play and get to the other end quickly.
Sheffield, another offensive board, and puts it in. Man amongst boys for the Bucks, and that one almost turned over. Andy Olds, wild pass, but Morissette comes down with it. Up ahead, Childress, who finds Olds. Transition 3 opportunity, too strong. Sheffield with the rebound, pushes up ahead to Millen. Millen has it stripped. Olds with a pickpocket foul, not called. Olds over to Pittman. Pittman step back three. Off the mark. Good hands from Jordan Winston. Bats it out. Olds for three. Get you some. Big time triple from the senior. And a strong third quarter start for Andy Olds. The lead back to 7.
Olds had 2 fast break layups early in this quarter. And he's a three-point specialist, though. He's still showing that off. He's up to 10 points.
The Bucks throw it away. Messiah Millen looking for Sheffield and finding the wall.
Big credit to Jordan Winston down here on that offensive rebound. He timed his jump perfectly, being able to knock the ball out, end up leading to that Olds 3.
Morissette, contact comes out, and that will go against Michael Gates. I think Morissette realized he was coming up behind him. He steps back and draws the contact.
Listen, this has been, I would almost call it an impossible game to officiate with the speed, the pressure that both teams have been delivering, the physicality down low. And honestly, more or less, I would say that the officials have done a pretty good job of it with maybe a couple mistakes here and there. This is not an easy game to officiate. And right now, if you're Pelham, it's still, you got to survive the storm of foul trouble.
And I think anytime you're dealing with a big man who has the physicality is another foul. This time against Drew Sims, looking for the trap as Andy Olds looks to make his move, and that's an easy call. Anytime you have a big man with a physical advantage, as you do with the Jackson Sheffield, it's going to be difficult to officiate. What do you call? There's obviously going to be physicality and contact every possession. Officials have done a good job of keeping this one in control. Morissette to the rack, draws the contact. He'll shoot a couple.
I think Hoover coach Scott Ware over there, he's still complaining about an offensive hook, and I think Morissette has maybe gotten away with it a couple of times, but it's not like his only move, and he's calling for that every time. When you're trying to argue for a foul one way, you're going to lose all the credit when you're trying to argue for a foul that you should have actually gotten. He's even that blocking foul, you could see the Hoover bench a little upset about. He ran right up to him, nearly headbutted him.
First free throw is good for Deshaun Morissette, senior on this team, leading scorer for the Panthers. Second one is good. 9-point lead, 48-39. Panthers in front. Pressure on Boulware from Andy Olds. And the foul called, I'm not sure if that was the contact that warranted the call. A lot of contact before that.
I think he did a good job moving his feet leading up to that point. And then you could see, as it looked like he was almost about to make a turnover happen.
Well, there was a swipe.
When he was going to the ground, he swiped. It was unnecessary. He didn't need to swipe. The ball was coming loose.
.48-41 basket for the Bucks.
It's a smart inbounds play from Hoover. They just put Sheffield down low one-on-one, had everyone else at half court, inbounded it quickly. Sheffield might not have an easier bucket than that one.
Childress with it, high post, down low, finds Pittman. What a pass from Grayson Childress.
Not just the speed on that pass, that was also the fact that he moved the defense with his eyes to go the other way. Great work from Childress.
Sheffield with it. Looking down low, and this is the thing for Sheffield. You're going to play in the SEC. That elbow jumper has got to, you have to develop that if you're going to make a big impact at Vanderbilt offensively. The physical
remember when we used to talk about that as the jump that you needed from college to the NBA? And now it's, you better be able to shoot even at the college level if you're going to be a big.
And he just takes it right to the rack. And again, you can do that in high school.
That was still good defense. Kept his hands up. Let him body you. You can't body him back with 3-4 fouls.
Morissette for three. Off the mark. Good rhythm on that one, just unable to put it in. 50-43. Other way, Hoover turns it over. Jacob Gibbs with it. Turning things up, finds Marcus Arnold out to Morissette. Morissette almost turns it over, but pulls it out wisely, and with 22 on the clock, going to go to work, gets it up to Childress. Childress down low, nice pass to Morissette, who puts it in.
Well, I think they found something here with this set.
Childress, another beautiful assist. Panthers defense going to work as Hoover turns it over, forced by the Panthers. Childress, and that's going to be a block. I think he wanted that dunk, changed his mind as he went in the air, and lucky to draw a foul there. I thought that might be offensive.
Yeah, it looked very similar to the call on the other end. He was just a little bit more in control this time than the charge he got called for in the first half.
Well,
I think you're right. I think you're right. He wanted to rise up and throw that one down. Thought it was good defense. You can only do so much. But that's a fast move on a fast break. You're probably not getting that call on the defensive side very often.
First one is good for the senior, Grayson Childress. We want to talk about player development in the program. You look at Grayson Childress, how far this guy has come in his time as a Panther. Doing a little bit of everything. He's got the offensive game. The assists this year have been vital to this team. He's rebounding the ball, some blocks, highlight dunks.
Most high schools would take one guy who has 5 assists per game. Pelham has 2. Morissette with the 6 assists per game, but also Childress with 5.1 assists per game. That is not something you find usually on a high school basketball team.
You've seen it in this third quarter. His defense has maybe been the most improved part of his game. On these Coach Dickinson teams, he said, you're going to have to play defense, and Childress has been a key cog for this team. And Hoover losing control. Sheffield getting tired of getting banged on. And a technical.
I didn't see if there was a little bit of a push. See, and this is what I don't like. I understand Scott Ware's frustration. What I don't like to see is he's trying to point out all the Pelham guys who should be teed up too. That's not what you should be worried about right now. Be worried about your star player who just shot a technical because he didn't get a foul call. When he traveled, he clearly traveled. He went up thinking he had a shot. It wasn't there, and he traveled. It happens. Talk to him. You shouldn't be worried about the Pelham players who are doing all the teeing up and doing all the talking. That's what Coach Dickinson needs to be worried about.
I will tell you who Sheffield reminds me of, but I will give you a chance to guess this. He was a star for their rival. Had a successful season, or career, I would say, for an SEC school.
Early graduate, went somewhere, didn't turn out too well, stay down on the plains.
I would say he turned out okay as Jacob Gibbs slashes to the hole, but I think you are on the right track. 58-43, the Panthers have extended the lead over the Hoover Buccaneers. 15 points over the defending 7A state champions. Childress, great defense. Bucks with an offensive board. To the rack. Drawing the foul, and
it's almost one of those times you got so excited that you were playing good defense that he went after, tried to block a shot that he didn't really have a chance of blocking.
Michael Glass will head to the line as Jordan Winston picks up his 4th. And I think you're getting where I was going.
I didn't know if we were waiting for the quarter break. When you said rival, I thought Vestavia first, or Thompson, but I think you're talking Spain Park.
I'm talking Spain Park.
Which means you're probably talking Austin Wiley.
Austin Wiley, offensively challenged, great rebounder, defensive presence. But he was a guy I saw as a 5-star. I remember working that state championship when Spain Park was in the semifinals, and it was a guy that was committed to Alabama that I said, this guy's far, far better, by the name of John Petty. Of course, Petty, good years with the Crimson Tide. Never quite lived up to what I was seeing when he was in high school as Hoover. The steal Off the inbounds, a chance to cut it at the end of the quarter. Far too strong. And as we head to the fourth, Pelham Panthers all over the 7A Hoover Buccaneers, 58-45. Fourth quarter, it's finishing time for the Pelham Panthers. We'll take a break here, right back with the final frame on 93.3 The River and streaming on NFHS.
I'm Joseph Chambers, your local State Farm agent here in Pelham since 2017. We're proud to be supporters of Pelham High Athletics. When I was younger, I loved playing youth sports and being a part of my high school team, and I wanted to give back to this year's team and support any way I could. Me and my team want to help you and your family, regardless of where you may be in life. We can help you with auto, home, life, retirement planning, and so much more. Stop by our office to see what we can do for you. Let's go Panthers. Go get them.
They have more than 100 authentic and delicious Mexican dishes to choose from. Zapata Mexican Restaurant, where Valleydale meets Highway 31 in Pelham.
Joseph Chambers State Farm is a big supporter of Pelham Athletics. Their mission is to serve the customers' needs through their knowledge of insurance and excellent customer service. Joseph Chambers State Farm takes pride in what they do. Located on Canyon Park Drive in Pelham. Joseph Chambers State Farm, 205-663-3276.
Fourth quarter here from Pelham High School, 8-0. Pelham Panthers looking to continue their torrid start here to the season. They came into the season unranked, and Hoover came in number 1 in 7A. The Bucks have taken 3 early season losses. Again, they're going to challenge themselves. Those are quality losses, and you certainly expect Hoover to be there in the 7A conversation as this season progresses. But the Pelham Panthers quarter away from another statement early in this season. Bucks with the ball. Jaden Robinson, some contact, no foul,
and that's 5.
Sheffield, second chance, puts it in, and 1, and that will likely do it for Jaden Robinson as he trots to the bench.
Listen, that's why I am surprised he came out to start this fourth quarter with how well they were playing without him on the court. Nothing against Jaden Robinson, but they were going on a run without him. There was no reason to risk a 5th foul this early. There's nothing he did wrong. That is a loose ball. He's trying to get to it. He's contesting a shot, slaps him on the wrist, and that's going to be a foul every time. But, man, I'm just surprised that he went back out there to start this fourth quarter.
Second one no good, 58-47. And Morissette with it into the half court. Skip past Trey Pittman. Foul called, and Messiah Millen able to knock that one loose, and for a reason. A little too much contact.
Yeah, reached across his body there. I think it was an easy call. When you make contact with the chest before you get the ball, you feel like you get all ball with your hand, but when you hit someone's chest before you get there, that's going to be a foul.
Pittman inbounds up and around Grayson Childress, and
get Olds for a moving screen, which I think is going to be his 4th one.
So the foul situation more dire for the Panthers as Andy Olds picks up his 4th. With Jaden Robinson already on the bench. Olds tries to avoid that 5th there, and the Bucks carried. As Jacob Gibbs into the ball game for the Bucks outside of Messiah Millen to this point. The guard play has just not been there to match the Panthers, and that has been where Pelham has separated themselves. Obviously, Sheffield is getting his down low, but the Panthers guards have severely outplayed the Bucks in this game.
I won't bring up what I said in the pregame, where Pelham's backcourt would be what would win the game, but that's fine. We can wait till see if I'm right until the end of the quarter.
A lot of time left in this one. Grayson Childress with it.
I also said Jaden Robinson can't foul out, and here we are.
Pittman with it. Pittman in the lane. Sheffield reaches in, and that's going to get called every single time. And
it's actually going to be out 1. I thought Sheffield had a clean reach in.
Call it on Kent. One of the things you look at Sheffield, too, the emotions as this game's progressed, the frustration. Got to learn to be able to deal with it. They're going to bang on you. They're going to be physical. Got to keep your cool. I think that has cost him a little bit in this game. Childress out to Pittman.
To his credit, I think since that technical foul, he has settled in. I mean, he's up to 17 points now. He didn't have any in the first quarter, so.
Morris set to the hole and puts it in. Jacob Gibbs almost comes up with a steal off the inbounds. Hoover the other way, out of control, offensive foul. And that Panther bench, led by Jaden Robinson, he's fouled out of this one, but he's going to.
Might be an assistant coach at this point.
60-47, 6:15 to go, fourth quarter. Panthers on top. They trailed 10-0 to start this game. It has been all Pelham Panthers since that point. They've outscored the Bucks by 23 since early in the first quarter. Morissette, middle of the court, to the rack. Double team will shoot two.
Boy, I was about to say it's a little too early to be milking clock. Obviously, you can't do too much of it because we are playing with the shot clock tonight. But I think your offense is working. And I understand limiting possessions because of foul trouble. Maybe that's the thought process. You don't want Jackson Sheffield to get too many opportunities to foul out more of your team, but I think you have to run your offense.
Panther fans don't want to have this brought up, but Panthers blew a lead against the Helena Huskies a year ago in this gym where they tried to milk some clock, and a 15-plus point lead, if I recall, dwindled down to a deficit. And I think the lesson there is you play your game and you run your offense, and Morissette adds 2 free throws. 15-point lead here. Jumper off the mark. Grayson Childress with a rebound. Childress, nice pass to Vincent. Puts it in, and Childress showing off the passing skills once again.
And that's what I like to see. That is how you had success. That's how this lead stretched out in the third quarter, is fast break points and taking advantage of turnovers and long rebounds.
Childress, a rebound off a Hoover miss. Childress, coast to coast. And that's going to be an offensive foul.
And I think you can see Coach Dickinson right now kind of asking, what was your plan? You got to go in with a plan. You don't even really mind attacking, but what were you doing other than just running into him? Because that's what it looked like.
Kobe Boulware draws it in a timeout. Just want to cap it off with the Helena thing. They got to play this team again twice this season at least. So a little chance to avenge that, and I'll let you look up the record. 64-47, 5:16 to go. We'll step aside. Conclusion of this one on the other side.
Zapata Mexican Restaurant is ready to feed hungry.
On the job in no time. 3M Carts and Mowers, 734 Industrial Park Drive in Pelham.
64-47 Pelham Panthers all over the Hoover Buccaneers. And again, not to beat a dead horse, I've said it over and over. We've talked about it. Hoover led 10-0 in this game. Panthers kind of looked hapless and a little starstruck early on, but you kind of just said, all right, let's get some points on the board and see what happens. And boy, oh boy, have they responded since.
Yeah, and not just 10-0, but Pelham had control in the second quarter. That was kind of dwindled down. This lead was just 2 points in the third quarter. And that was when Jane Robinson went to the bench with 4 fouls. And the way that the team went out, they played a little bit smaller, still being able to keep Jackson Sheffield in check. They started pulling away. They might have found something here that they might not have expected to have so much success going small.
64-47, 5 minutes to go, not over just yet, as Jackson Sheffield puts in a little bunny. Cut it back to 15, ball out of bounds. With the pressure, it'll stay with the Panthers. Hoover, 3-time defending 7A state champs. They went undefeated a year ago.
And a little bit of a high school basketball history note, if you wanted, is that five schools have ever won the state championship in the same classification, both boys and girls, in the same year before 2023. Hoover's done it 3 straight years.
And that just speaks to what basketball has meant to them. And Jacob Gibbs with it, reverse off the mark. Sheffield with the rebound.
You have to assume Sheffield's presence had something to do with him going reverse on that layup.
For the Panthers, you got to close the door, and Hoover certainly feeling the urgency. You see it in the body language. They whistle.
It'll be offensive on Sheffield that time, trying to get position. I think his arms were up.
That's the hook there. You know you got to close the door. You feel like 4:18 and a 15-point lead. You very much in control, but closing out games is the hardest part, and Panthers got to do it here.
I think Sheffield just went to the bench for some water, and Ware's already pointing him. Get ready to head back to the scorer's table.
Go on and chug that.
It'll be a short rest.
Benson to inbound right to Jacob Gibbs. Full court zone pressure from the Bucks. Panthers able to break it into the half court. They will extend that zone all the way to half court. Panthers looking to eat a little bit of clock. They get it up to Olds, around to Jacob Gibbs. Content to just.
This is when I feel like you need to start going at 15.
Andy Olds, too strong.
I just think you're wasting possessions.
Bucks full court, easy layup. And that's the kind of trend you want to avoid, a stagnant possession on offense and a quick layup on the other end. Back to 13 for Hoover. Working around Vincent, almost turned it over, comes up with it.
That's a good
and
timeout.
A perfect time for a timeout from Coach D. 3:24 to go, 64-51. What is that conversation like in the huddle? Again, you're moments away from such a big win. How do you close it out?
Yeah, you feel that, right? You have that sense of this is about to be a big win, but you can't let it sink in, right? And you can't rush, but I don't. You have to play with the shot clock. If you're going to put the shot clock in, use the shot clock. With this much time left, 3:24 left in the game, and there's a shot clock, this game is not over. Play your offense. I understand not wanting to go in the first 10 seconds. You don't want to take bad shots, but your offense shouldn't be standing out at midcourt for 25 seconds. And I think Coach Dickinson might realize that this passing around a trap defense is only going to result in turnovers. You can only do that for so long. And I understand you got some special one-on-one guys. You want Morissette to be able to cut in, drive. We've seen him be able to do that against this zone. But you can't just rely on that to happen 35 seconds in. And then obviously, no matter what, I think you are at the point where make your free throws. Free throws is the big one. Get your free throw shooters in the game. You might be a couple minutes away from that being a free throw game, but that's what it comes down to, taking care of the ball and making your free throws.
We've seen some really great guards under Coach Greg Dickinson here at Pelham High School, where Deshaun Morissette has a special gear, is attacking the basket, not settling for the jump shots, getting to the line. And we've seen him do it here tonight. 3:24 to go. Don't settle for those jump shots. Nice. Continue to attack, and he's got the ball here with 3:20. Over to Trey Pittman. Pittman skips it over to Andy Olds. Olds back to Pittman. Winston. Olds. Three-pointer. Too strong. Bucks have it, but Panthers almost able to force a turnover. Foul called, though. And that may do it for senior Andy Olds, and it's not.
I think they called it on a hold as Olds was trying to jump to grab the ball, actually.
So it'll go against the Bucks. And that'll put Andy Olds at the line. So happy to be wrong on that one. But
I can imagine the noise level that this gym would have hit if that three-pointer had dropped.
I think that would have been close to all she wrote. First free throw is no good, and you saw that one kind of line drive out of his hands. Looked bad as soon as it left Andy Old's hands. Second of two upcoming, 3:02 to go in the ballgame, 64-51. Panthers on top of the Hoover Buccaneers. Number one Hoover, close to a fourth loss preseason, number one. Panthers unranked. If this one holds as Olds knocks down the second, you can expect the Panthers to debut in the top 10 of 6A with that next poll coming later this week. Three-pointer is up and good for the Bucks. Riley Kent able to put it in and cut it back to 11, 65-54. And 2:42 to go. Feels like an eternity with this only an 11-point game now.
Yeah, making your free throws is big, but also taking care of the ball. And back here, this press, Pelham has been a little lucky on a couple of these passes, I think.
Andy Olds back over Jacob Gibbs. Olds back to Gibbs, and got to get that ball past half court, and he does. Over to Andy Olds. Olds looking, finds Trey Pittman back up top. Free throw line, Childress to Morissette. Pops a three, it's pure, and with 2:20 to go, the Panthers extend it to 14.
Boy, Childress with 5 assists here in the second half alone. A great find, and I love that you're still taking that shot. That is the kind of offense I'm talking about. You don't pass up good opportunities to still get points. You can't ask for a better shot. Morissette with an open three.
Maybe a unusual comparison here, but shades of Kyle Anderson from Grayson Childress. A little faster. He's not quite the slow-mo, but the passing, crafty passing, point forward type of play as Childress comes down with a rebound up ahead to Olds. Childress does not let the game speed him up as Morissette with it, and a foul called as he kicks over to Trey Pittman, and it looks like hopefully a cramp there for Morissette, and he is in pain here.
Yeah, you could see him kind of point to a cramp earlier. When he caught a ball, he kind of pointed down. Looks like it finally caught up on him there. I think that was the right call, offensive foul. You can try too hard to draw a foul, and you're throwing your arms around, and it just came up and was more of a push-off than anything else. He's going to get a little bit of a boost here to stop him from cramping.
And there you go. You worry anytime an athlete hits the deck and they're clutching that leg around the knee area.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no doubt about that. That is a cramp through and through.
I think you can see the different types of pain in someone's face between oh, I'm in trouble, and please make this stop, when it's a cramp.
Morissette to his feet, and
that is one that it might be tough to get him back into this game, though, with how much pain he was in the next minute 49.
1:49 to go, and that one hurts the Panthers, no doubt about it. That's when you hope he can work that out and possibly get in the ball game or trust his teammates to close the door on a Hoover Buccaneer comeback. 68-54. Panthers looking to get to 9-0. Bucks with it as Michael Gates brings it up to the rack. Gates puts it in. 12-point game. Panthers get it in to Trey Pittman. Working up ahead. Childress, corner. Winston, three. Too strong. Andy Olds with a rebound. Back out Jacob Gibbs. Winston gets it to Trey Pittman.
I think you got the student section a little excited with that pump fake.
Pittman going to work. Triple team comes, and there's the steal. Sheffield able to come up with it. 68-56. Panthers lead down to a minute. To the rack, puts it in. 10-point game. Timeout Hoover Bucks as Michael Glass banks in another one. And into the game, Deshaun Morissetti's going to have a couple more seconds here to hydrate, stretch it out, and get that cramp worked out. But now free throws and ball security, so important here for the Panthers to put this one on ice.
Yeah, that's what it's going to come down to. You feel like with 57 seconds left, 10-point game, you're going to win this game. If you go 57 seconds without a turnover, you're probably going to win this game. If you could go 57 seconds, miss all your free throws, and without a turnover, you're still probably going to win this game. Take care of the ball, and then when you get to the line, knock down the shots. I mean, it does get simple. I expect you see plenty of guards out there. That's too many guards. That's one too many guards. That was 6 players.
Keep your cool. Don't turn the ball over. Got a really good chance here to come away with another statement win on this young season. (68-58). Panthers on top. Hoover trying to put together some sort of comeback here with less than a minute. And that is a turnover. That's exactly what the Bucks needed, and they get an easy layup opportunity. They missed the first, but put back the second. It's back to 8. 42 seconds. Clock moving. Down the floor, Andy Olds breakaway and puts it in. Olds comes up gimpy, but 30 seconds to go, and that should about do it. Layup on the other end is good, 24 seconds to go. And another quick timeout for Scott Ware, and the chants begin from the Pelham Panthers student section as this one all but in the books for the Pelham Panthers.
This right here is what I miss. Student section, like, just talking back and forth, just yelling at each other. Knowing it doesn't lead to anything. Knowing that you might play each other again down the road. I guess these two teams won't, but sometimes it's just the intimacy of a high school basketball game. This is why high school basketball was my favorite. You are right on top of the action. A little dangerous. I might have gotten kicked out of one at one point in time, and that's fine.
Who was it?
A Hueytown game.
Hueytown.
Yeah.
So after we heard about all the sportsmanship of the playoff game between the Panthers and Hueytown earlier this year.
That's because they knew they couldn't have another incident of that one guy from 14 years ago. They remember. We
kicked out of this gym.
No, the Hueytown gym. No, I have support here. You kidding me? We would travel to some games, and in that game, there were only 4 of us that traveled over to a game. But I still brought my big flag, and I was waving it in front of their parents, and they didn't like that. So they said, I'll either take your flag or you can leave. So I said, okay, I'll leave.
I'm out.
Because I wasn't convinced I was going to get back. I was, 17-year-old, you probably think, oh, what? They're doing me wrong. It's like, I should have just put down the flag and watched basketball.
Put the flag down. Bigger question, did the Panthers come away with a win that night?
They did. They did win that game, yeah.
Already a win over Hueytown early in this season. So one of the 8 is against Hueytown, avenging that playoff loss. And again, 24 seconds to go in this one, 70-62. And this basketball team, it is early, but you got to think a lot of postseason aspirations for this team and what they have been able to do early. Impressive to say the least. Trey Pittman to inbounds it, gives it to Morissette out of bounds, who gets it to Grayson Childress. Up ahead to Pittman. Hard foul, unnecessary foul. And Pittman goes down. And he is up, but that one's he's gonna feel that one tomorrow.
I think it was a hard foul. I don't know if there was a lot of intent to it, but when you have a hard foul like that, you got to recognize it, help the guy up, be like, there's nothing to it. I don't think there was anything to it when he went up. But when you hit him hard and then walk away, it makes it look
That's
worse
one you
than
want
it
to kind of grab
was.
them as they're going down.
Right.
And Pittman will shoot a couple.
Shout out to Coach Dickinson or whoever on that staff just made up that play. I love the double inbounds. passing it down the baseline and then inbounding it. That's one of my favorite plays in basketball.
Always loved the gas from people who thought it was an illegal play back in my old days of playing. But
honestly, that's sometimes better because they think it's illegal. They stop playing. You leak someone over the top.
They're looking around, and there you go. Call that one Sun Chief when breakaway, that easy layup. Wasn't usually easy for our team. Pittman 0 for 2 from the stripe, 8-point game, almost a traveling and stepping back court. Hoover needs a desperation 3. They're off the mark. Second chance effort from Sheffield. 5 seconds to go. And he'll head to the line to shoot a couple. And guess what? Not going to matter, as free throws ain't worth 8. And the Panthers.
Don't talk, don't do anything that lets a technical get 2 free points or anything like that.
That will be the 5th for Grayson Childress. What a second half for him.
A well-deserved round of applause.
What a cog in this offensive machine, passing the ball, shooting the ball, dunking the ball, rebounding the ball. Do everything player, and that student section is loving this one, as the Panthers are going to go to 9-0 as another miss from the stripe for Jackson Sheffield.
Okay, now I wanted to point this out earlier. The overrated chant makes no sense. Don't do it. It makes your win look worse. You want him to be properly rated or underrated, and it makes it look better.
I think for the Panthers, you want this Hoover team to go undefeated the rest of the way. And they are not undefeated tonight. The Pelham Panthers have knocked off the Hoover Buccaneers 70-63. They remain undefeated, 9-0 on the season. And Coach Greg Dickinson, you can smile, Coach D. Your team is undefeated as they knock off the 3-time reigning state champions of 7A, the Hoover Buccaneers. And the Panthers improve to 9-0 on this young season. Special team.
I mean, I think you know how special a win this is. For a December 8th victory, this feels monumental. And that's not an understatement, because wins this early in the season, they shouldn't feel this big. These games don't matter at the end of the day. But this is a massive win, maybe not for this particular team, maybe not just on the scoreboard, but for this program as a whole, to say, hey, you know what, we've arrived, we're here, and this is where we're going to be. This is where we're going to stay. Mountain Brook wasn't a fluke. Hoover, not a fluke. Now go make it count over the next 3 months and show up in Birmingham.
Certainly that is what this team aspires to. And I think you said it. The next poll comes out Wednesday.
I believe it's Wednesday. It's either this Wednesday or next Wednesday.
Well, it's going to be
one before
interesting.
Christmas.
Going to be interesting to see where this team is. They were unranked in the preseason. They are 9-0. Wins over Oak Mountain. Wins at Mountain Brook. And now they have knocked off the Hoover Buccaneers here at home. But if you talk to any of these players, this is what they expect. They expect to be one of the elite teams in 6A, and right now, here in December, they certainly look the part. 9-0 in year 6 for Coach Greg Dickinson, and so much season to go. What a scene here at Pelham High School.
Yeah, I think you see all the cameras over the huddle right there, how much this means. And listen, if you're Hoover, and there's probably Hoover students, Hoover adults, Hoover parents who are watching this and saying, why do you care? You know, this is a regular season game. We didn't care this much. And that's understood. You've won 3 state championships in a row. This means a lot to Pelham, and that's a compliment to the Hoover program that this win means so much to Pelham. Let it mean a lot tonight. Even let it mean a lot for the rest of the season. Let it fuel you to say, we can beat anyone. Don't go into a game almost like they did tonight and say, hey, that's a name on the chest that we aren't used to seeing.
And I think not only you come away with a win, but we want to play the best. We want the challenge, and thus far they have answered the bell 9-0.
And might I add, they won this game. They did not trail in the second half. I don't think they trailed in the final 3 quarters. that was a dominant performance after a struggle of a start for Pelham. And being able to play the way they did consistently throughout that game, I was impressed with. I was really impressed with how they pulled away and stayed pulled away throughout most of that second half.
If you're a basketball fan, a lot of reason to smile if you root for the Pelham Panthers. A huge home victory, beautiful scene here, and kind of unheard of to see this kind of passion for December basketball. A lot to come. This is our first one here on 93.3 The River, our first one with a full broadcast streaming here on NFHS. We got more to come this season, but what a way to open our coverage. 70-63, the Pelham Panthers winners over the Hoover Buccaneers, and a lot of smiles here at Pelham High School. First of 4 games here this week, back in action tomorrow night, Thursday night, and capping things off against a resurgent Calera team on Friday. So stay posted for those. That will do it for our coverage here tonight. Caleb, final takeaways here from a huge win.
Well, if you want to put me straight into coach mode, I'm sure Coach D is saying, hey, this is great. Guess what? We got more games. You got to win tomorrow. You got to be ready to play tomorrow. You got to be ready to play Thursday. You got to be ready to play Friday. But no, I think what I focused on early in the second half and at halftime was that this team knows how to win in multiple ways. And when Jane Robinson got his 4th foul early in the 3rd quarter and then again his 5th foul early in the 4th quarter, the way that Pelham responded, being able to put a group of guys out there that they maybe didn't want to win with tonight. They wanted Jane Robinson to finish out the game. That's how I assume they wanted to finish this game. They adjusted. They played smaller, they made it work, and they ran Hoover to the ground with those fast break points, being able to get out, still letting Jackson Sheffield maybe get some points, get some rebounds, get some blocks. But when you got an opportunity to run, they did it. And I got to give credit to the coaching staff. That was really impressive way to put that win together.
70-63, Panthers victorious over the Hoover Buccaneers, and they improved to 9-0. That will do it for us here. For our entire crew, for Justin Vollenweider, Aiden Massey, for Braden George, our engineer, for Caleb Turntine, I am Justin Foster. Good night, and as always, go Panthers.